Hello, everyone. My name is Emily Potter, and I am the host of the Living the Dream Video Summit. I'm also the director of the Million Kisses Foundation, and I am a musician living solely within a gift economy model. I have gathered together 20 individuals, presenters from all around the world, because I want to ask them one main question. How are you living the dream? I want them to help us eliminate barriers and blocks and things that get us down, that get us stuck. And I specifically invited energy workers and shamans and Reiki masters and life coaches because I feel like that spiritual connection will really help us get a foundation of living the dream. I feel like that's what we're here to do on earth. And so I want to do everything in my power to help us get there. So today we go to Salt Lake City, Utah. We have Karey Williams. Welcome, Karey.
Hi, thank you very much. I'm excited to be here.
I was able to have a session with Karey a long time ago. And since then, I pretty much have just fallen in love with her and her family. And she's so many things. She's going to tell us about her 20 years of experience, specifically starting when she was a very young girl, how she came to be who she is. She's an intuitive healer. She's a coach. She works with both individuals and families with energy therapy practices of all different kinds. And today she's going to talk to us about that. I want you to first start when you were a little girl. You first saw energy, got connected to it. Tell us that story.
Yes, I was 5, my mother said the first time I talked about it. And I remember just being very little, seeing colors around people. The first time I really spoke about it, I was sitting in a church, which, makes you still. So I had to be still. And I think that's when I first tuned into it. And then I just started seeing it everywhere. Luckily, my mother, she's a dreamer. So she understands seeing things that are not seen, so to say, and really helped me out. So I really was blessed that way. And by the time I was 14, people would walk in the room and I knew exactly what the issue was, what they were believing that was not true about themselves, and how to talk to them about who they really are. Just really seeing who somebody really is. And it's just, you fall in love with people immediately, getting to see that. It's a fantastic gift that I feel so blessed that I get to use on this earth. Fantastic.
You have a specific passion that you told me about just recently. You have a passion about self-care, helping people with self-care. That's an experience so many people have in theory, Karey. And we definitely do it to an extent, but I specifically love to know that about you. You have a passion for inspiring people to love themselves and be impeccable with their self-care. So the reason why I'm bringing that up now is that your path as a little girl has brought you to this place. Tell us your story. How did you then become, as an adult, someone who's now wanting that for other people and the energy looking that way?
You bet. Well, I figured when I had all these gifts show up at the time in the 90s, 80s, I thought, well, what do I do with it? I'll be a psychologist. So I actually went to school for that. But as I was in school for that, they were talking about studies, how people do not get better just sitting talking about their stuff over and over again. Not that psychology can't be a fantastic thing, especially if you get a good coach. But at the time I thought, boy, there's got to be something more effective. And I was reading a book. And the words rapid eye technology jumped out at me, and Spirit just said, that's it. That is what you're supposed to be doing. And so that was the first modality I started using as a energy therapist. I do EFT, Reiki, wings, you name it. Most of it's intuitive though. Most of it's basically reading somebody's energy and seeing what I see and talking to them about what their higher self wants to talk to them about. Basically reading their energy, and their higher self says to me, hey, here's what, Emily's not understanding about the truth of herself. And I went through a dark night of my soul, so to say, about 5 years ago, after I'd been doing my practice for about 12 years. And all of a sudden I couldn't lift up my arms. My body wasn't moving, and turned out to be diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. And at the time, I really hadn't been doing great self-care. I wasn't eating well. I was stressed. My husband had just gotten a head injury. Everything just triggered it. And I thought, well, I'm going to go on a sabbatical and see what I can do about this. And through my journey, through those dark nights of sometimes not even moving, I realized that I've got to fill my bucket. I've got to take care of me in order to really help other people. And that's why I am just preach impeccableness with people's self-care, because especially as energy healers and light workers, which I attract a lot of in my business, is we have a tendency to give and give and give sometimes until we're depleted. Sometimes we even believe we've got to give until we're depleted, and that it's our duty. Sometimes we even believe that making money isn't spiritual, or just limiting beliefs like that, where I realize we get to really take care of ourselves if we want to ramp up and assist everybody else. So with my self-care, getting very impeccable about it, I definitely do breathing every day. I am a big proponent for breath work. I do breathing, meditation. I make sure I take the right essential oils. I make sure that I walk, move my body. I make sure that I'm eating healthy foods. Everything's a vibration. Everything's energy. So even what we put in our mouth, that is a definite vibration, which will fuel me or not. And truthfully, if I don't, like if I get really sugar cravey, which is my great addiction that I'm doing my own work on, I will kind of crash the next day just by putting those kind of chemicals in my body. And I know that for especially women, you know, everybody, women and men, but especially women, with our nurturing and our caretaking, that is what I want to preach to anybody I can get my hands on, to say, take care of yourself.
So I'm going to challenge you a little bit.
Please.
I'm going to pretend that I'm your new client. I'm a mother of 3. I know that you're a mother of 3.
Of 3.
So,
Yes.
Yep. And I know, my heart says, I'm listening to my heart, and I'm telling myself, I know that self-care is good. And do you know how badly I want to my way of self-care is to take a bath. But I have little kids, and my husband is always working, and I don't have the money to get babysitters. Karey, I love the idea. It's a great it's a great one in theory, to be impeccable with my self-care, but it's not realistic. What would you say to me?
Well, first, one thing I would challenge you on is that belief that money won't show up for you for what you need. I think we believe that a lot. And if we make it about money, we will not take care of ourselves. We get to make it about the intention. We get to be clear on our commitment to taking care of ourselves, and it's interesting what will show up. So I challenge you to walk in those shoes for a little bit. But with the little kids, I've always gathered my children into these practices. There's lots of ways to nurture yourself with the kids in nurturing. I have done breath work with my children, sat us all down, even little ones, and breathe, done meditations, make it really fun. You know, you can even use those little gongs that clear the energy in the room. Kids love to bang on those, and just taking those moments to breathe. Of course, I would also recommend receiving help. A lot of times women will not receive. You know, we have trillions, hundreds of trillions of cells, and I do a meditation and a clearing where we open up all those cells, the receptor sites on every cell, to receiving good. And so I would also work with you as a client, with that being your case, on receiving, and maybe even considering who can help you for 30 minutes, who would show up for you, who could you trade with for 30 minutes of time so that you're having that fantastic bath. So I would give you lots of things to think about, mostly challenge and question you, because I believe the answers are all inside of you. But mostly the limiting belief that you cannot have what you want.
So I want to actually emphasize what you just said, because on your website and in your bio, you actually say that it is your mission. It is your mission to coach others to release limiting beliefs. So this is not just a lovely little thing that you're doing on the side of, oh, you should do that. You've made it the mission of your life, Karey.
I know, it is. It is, because when you see the truth of who somebody is, you want them to know it. I mean, like you said, I fall in love with people when I look at their energy and who they really are. Even when they're choosing not to be who they really are, they're still perfect as their creator made them. They're as the divine universal energy that flows through them, they're still perfect. They just are maybe having some experiences that don't feel so perfect, which could still be perfect for them.
So there are, if not thousands, at least hundreds of energy workers that I know personally, and that many of the audience might know. And so they're getting to know you right now. They're introduced to you. You have this passion and this mission to release limiting beliefs. I come to you as a new client because I'm feeling drawn towards you. What would a session with you look like? Tell us a little bit. Run us through a little bit.
Well, first off, I'd have 2 questions for you. I'd want to know what you want to create in your life, And then I'd also like to know what is happening that you don't want to be happening, because that's a good way to look for patterns. A lot of people have an easier time saying what they don't want than what they want. We'd flip that around, of course. And then I'd really start to talk about your energy, where your blocks are. I would also express your gifts. One of the things that's really showing up for me, and it's really been getting more and more intense in the last 5 years, is seeing people's gifts. Like I said, a lot of light workers show up in my world. A lot of people just need validation on, yes, that is your gift. Yes, you are an intuitive person. Yes, you have that empathy. Yes, you have that discernment. Yes, you have that creative ability. I've even met somebody that literally the tone of their voice is healing. Just their beautiful voice is healing. And I feel like there's a lot of chaos that's getting stirred up in the world, which in a way can be really good because we see this chaotic shadow, we can heal it. We see it, we can heal it. And I feel like everybody's gifts are really getting ramped up. And so a lot of the session would be talking about who you really are, what your gifts are, and really owning up to them, really becoming accountable for who you are, and letting go of all the beliefs that are not true. I would challenge every belief that may not be true.
So that is extremely useful for people who are listening to this, who are attempting to live the dream, because what you'll be able to do is where there's that density, you can help eliminate that so that there's freedom, there's that joy. When I'm hearing when you say helping people find out who they are, it can be very pointed. If this dream is calling you, this is who you are. So that's eliminate the dream barriers around that.
I agree.
I love that.
100%.
Okay, I want to ask you something particular. I'm pretty excited. Actually, I want to first say that I read on your website that one of the testimonials was someone who said, Karey is the best energy worker on the planet. So something that you're doing is working. And
we know we are attracted to people that we are meant to see. I mean, if somebody's listening to this and they go, I'm meant for her, we are meant to connect. You know, there's a recognition of our spirits, I believe, when we have a contract with each other.
Absolutely. And this is why I'm getting chills even just hearing this. You said yes to your dream, Karey.
I did.
Yes to this. You could have gotten a very high paying corporate job and done really well. And I actually have mentioned the corporate job a couple times, and I want to let people know I don't have anything against corporate jobs. If you're
I wasn't a corporate job. I was a corporate trainer for years when the spirit said time to go home. I didn't even know what I was going home from work for. I was the main income earner. I was the breadwinner in my family at the time. My husband worked, but I made like double, triple. It was a really scary thing to go, this doesn't feel right. This isn't where you're supposed to be. I loved training and talking about leadership skills. But man, when I came home and got to be my own boss and read those words of that modality I was supposed to do, things just fell into place. When you are living your dream, when you're really on your dharma, things just start to fall into place. I had my successful energy practice within 6 months of coming home. I had from the corporate world. I had no idea that's what I was supposed to do, but it fell into place.
It's pretty funny because I didn't even know that you did that. I apologize. I didn't know that about you. I just happened to mention that. So that's an alignment that, yes, if it is your dream to be in a corporate world, then do that. If it's not, that's what we're saying. That's who we're talking
exactly.
to. If you're part of calling you get to be living the dream. So I want to actually, because of that background, that's fantastic to know. On your website, something that's really important to you is that everything is energy.
Yes.
Everything is energy. So I want to take that a specific place that can be useful for our audience. That means, Karey, that money is an energy.
It is.
Tell us about this. The specific question that people want to know is, how do I create an abundant relationship with money? With your take on that money is an energy, I'd love you to just roll with it. What do you want to say?
Yes, and we decide, money it gets to serve us. I believe, with my belief about money and energy, is that the energy can be of the light with money. A lot of people judge it as not of the light. Like I said, money is a spiritual thing. I think it is part of our path to have money in abundance. The more abundance that you have, the more people you assist and help all throughout the world. And I also believe that money will show up for us when we divinely connect with our gifts and our dreams too. Like I was thinking about you living in a gift economy. Things show up, and sometimes it's a role, and sometimes you just got to trust that role, but to always know that it's going to show up and be there for you. And And I also believe that with the energy of money, what we really put our emotions on is what really makes the money come to us or not. So with our limiting beliefs saying, oh, there's never enough, or we're worried, or we're stressed, there's a huge difference for me. When I was sick, we lost my income again with me being sick. And then my husband got a head injury and he lost his corporate job at the time too, until he was back on his feet. And we did a lot of energy work with that, by the way, with his head injury that assisted. But when we had nothing, literally, we did not know how we were going to pay our bills the next month, or if we were literally going to be kicked out of our house that we own, like if it's going to go to foreclosure. We had all this stress. And what happened is we literally just had to believe that it shows up. That deep belief that it shows up, that who I am and what I want is worthy of money's time and attention. And we used it for, well, I guess that would be the best thing to say. We used it for that purpose, the time and our time and attention, and what we needed to accomplish for our family.
Can you take us to one of those times where all you had was the belief, where physically there was no money? All I'm seeing in those moments, because it makes me want to cry, because I've been there several times since being in this gift economy, several times. And I don't tell a lot of people about that yet, because I don't want them to worry about me yet. It's a lot more fun to tell people after I'm out of it, and then it's a nice story. But you can't be telling people inside. You understand?
Yes, so when you're in it, it really challenges your ego. You are coming face to face with your ego. What you really believe. Do I really believe that I'm going to be okay? Do I really believe that I'm worthy for things to show up for me? Yeah, it's hard.
Take us to one of those nights where you really, all you had was belief.
I have one actually. Yeah. We received a letter. We were 3 months behind on our mortgage, and we received a letter, the foreclosure letter. And actually, this is really funny. The knock on the door for leaving it, I was actually in the middle of seeing a client. I was trying to get myself to see some clients to assist us financially, but after I'd see a client, I'd be in bed a couple of days until I was learning how to work with this disease that I'm healing. Anyway, we were laying in bed, my husband and I just said, something gets to change around it. And I had this feeling like, is it okay if you don't have this particular house? We could still be okay. And I lost this attachment to the stuff. And I thought, will I be okay? Of course I'll be okay. And this feeling came over me that just tuned into that I'm going to be taken care of. And I think after I lost the attachment, the very next day, I got another letter in the mail that we qualified for. I think it was Obama's HAMP program that he started, the home ownership program, and they refinanced my house for less than I could have ever imagined, and we were just fine. But I think it was because I lost the attachment to it and realized it's still going to be okay. It doesn't have to be exactly what I think it should look like. Sometimes the spirit knows better than we do on what something should look like, and our job is to just trust. And I think I just trusted that night.
I really appreciate you getting vulnerable and telling us that, because that's as real as it gets. That you might lose the roof over your
stressful.
Yeah, like literally lose the roof over your heads and your children, and how do you feed them, and how much do you ask for support from your family, and how much do you try to get your more clients, and then your own health is at risk. Oh my gosh, that's as real as it gets, Karey. I appreciate that level of vulnerability, and I want to bring into that moment people who may not have the tools that you have to then just believe that it's going to be okay. Instead of spiraling up, people spiral down. They have panic attacks. They lose their health. They have things happen right there. What would you say? I want you to open your heart to them right now, and actually even do like a mini session with the whole audience, and share with them something that could be useful for them to spiral up into that place of belief and faith instead of spiraling down.
You bet. First, I'd have you take a deep breath. A couple of them, just really deep. Just breathe in and let go of the stress. Now, when we're deeply breathing, when we're in stress, we access that part of our brain that is our fight or flight, and it takes away our ability to be creative. So when you take deep breathe, it actually helps you go back into this part of your brain that accesses a creative part of you where things can show up. So just have you breathe deep. And then I'd like to start some energy work on you. We'll do a little bit of EFT because that's very easy to do through the phone. And I would start by saying, tapping on the karate chop point for EFT, and just repeat after me. Even though I'm afraid things won't show up for me,
I'm afraid that things won't show up for me,
I deeply love and accept myself.
I deeply love and accept myself.
I'm okay that there's a part of me
I'm okay that there's a part of me
that's afraid I won't eat tomorrow,
that's afraid that I won't eat tomorrow,
that things won't show up.
that things won't show up.
I deeply love and accept myself.
I deeply love and accept myself.
Good. And now we're just going to be releasing. I want you just to follow and tap on the places that I'm tapping. We'll just do it. We'll do a quick release. So we're going to release stress, worry. There's not enough in the world. I'm not enough. Lack. Any belief in lack. If I have stuff, people will go without. Nobody shows up for me. Afraid to receive. Afraid that I won't be enough. Afraid that I'm not worthy. Releasing, not worthy, not enough. The world is scary. The world is painful. I'm afraid that people won't love me. I'm not enough. I'm not loved. Just tapping that out of every single cell. Just releasing those lies and illusions that you don't have enough, kind of like where your collarbone is. Just tapping on that point, letting it go, letting it go, letting it go. Every layer and level, every lie and illusion, just tapping it all out. We're just doing a quick one. Take a deep breath in. We're just letting it go. Again, just tapping it out. Letting go of lack. Letting go of the belief in lack. Good. And just tapping that out. And I just want you to take another deep breath in. And just hold your chest. I actually want you to hold your chest. And you can't feel it back here, but hold your belly too. And just hooking up those particular energy centers. And I just want you to repeat after me. I'm enough.
I'm enough.
The world wants me to succeed.
The world wants me to succeed.
The universe cradles me.
The universe cradles me.
I am more than my experience.
I am more than my experience.
And then I want you to close your eyes for a moment. And I want you to just imagine all those cells in your body like I was talking about, like 500 trillion or more, I believe. Their little receptor site, I want you to open it up. And what I want you to plug in is that all the good from the universe into all those receptor sites. And just keep breathing it in. Just imagine it getting lighter and brighter in every one of those cells. That the universe is just tuned in and connected to your cells with all the good, and that you're able to receive more and more goodness, just breathing that in. And we'll set that energy process in motion, that it will continue on. And just bring your awareness into your body, fully everywhere in your body, and open your eyes. Breathing in. Breathing in the goodness. Just a little energy needs hygiene, just like our teeth, brushing our teeth needs hygiene. Just a little energy clearing for your hygiene. And my free gift that I'm going to be offering is a prosperity and lack clearing. So something similar to that, but we'll get a lot deeper into it, a lot more specific. I'd love people to be able to have that anytime they want, to be able to do a clearing like that with me.
You know, the passion that you have on the screen right now is coming right through. I want you to know that. That's good feedback for you. And I want everyone else to know that we didn't plan that. That was very much an intuitive insight that is for you. And I'm saying to the audience, and I want to say, I encourage people to just have that little thing on. They can just go and use that little tool that you just did, so that, and the whole purpose is that people, I've had a panic attack myself, and I know the difference between circling that rim about to go into one, and circling the rim and stopping, and then making that choice to go up. And what you just did was give a tool so that there is that choice of just breathe. So Karey, that's very valuable.
Thank you. And there's so many great tools for people out there that we don't spiral down. You know, we're not meant to. We get to always check our frequencies. One of my favorite things to do literally just dance. I just boogie when I'm feeling low, and I cannot feel like I love to boogie, and I cannot feel sad when I'm moving and dancing, and it lifts my frequency. So if I am really doing a problem or stuck, or I'm in the midst of writing and I can't do it, I boogie, and all of a sudden the world is open to me. So we all have our things that really work for us.
Absolutely. And to find those and to let them really support living the dream. I say that so many different ways, because we deserve to have reminders every single day, because
I
that's
agree.
what we're here to do.
Self-care. Self-care. That energy work is self-care.
Actually, that's the next question I have for you. Tell us, so you mentioned your own health, and one of the questions that people want to know, health is a big one for sure. One of the questions is, how do I take my health to the next ultimate level? So everyone has this certain amount of health, and what you're doing is creating, well, you have a new relationship with your health because of some of the things that you've been challenged with.
Definitely.
What's something that today someone can do to take their health to the next ultimate level? Just, I know that that's a huge question, so just tap into the heart of the audience and see what happens.
I'm really getting being still and quiet, being quiet for at least 5 minutes a day. We're so busy. There's so many things I could say, but that's the main one that just showed up. So that's definitely for many people in the audience, taking a moment to be quiet. You know, a lot of times we put out what we want to experience, or we pray, or whatever our practice is, but a lot of times we don't sit and listen. And the best way to do it for me when I'm being quiet is I'll journal. Just write what comes to you. So I think that's the main thing for people's health, to take it to the next level, to be quiet. And then if I was just going to say straight up body wise, stop that sugar and move the body. So dance, whatever you need to do.
I really know that you tuned in. I could feel it. So I hope that people really do consider just that tiny little reflection of tuning in and being silent and quiet to go forward with that. You're so spot on. You're so beautiful. Tell us how we can find you. People, you do both individual sessions, you do family sessions, you do group sessions.
I do.
Tell us more.
And I do it for anybody anywhere in the world. Of course, we'd use Skype or Zoom to do a session if you're not in Utah. If you're in Utah, you could actually just come to my place of business. And yes, families can do it as a group. You can even do it individually as families when people are working together with the same DNA. And like right now, I'm working with this beautiful family from Montana, and I have worked with probably 6 of them so far. And whatever they clear in their DNA assists each other. So it's like they're getting double clearing as they're doing it. But we can also do it as a group. And of course, it's the less money when everybody pitches in for the training. And I'm also going to be doing trainings coming up, webinars for people that will be less expensive than a one-on-one session with me. So lots of things are going to be available, and you can check that out on my website, which is www.kareywilliams.com. And it's a little bit of a different spelling. It's Karey. And so lots of times people have a little bit of a hard time finding me because of the spelling. But just remember, it's like Karen, only it's a Y instead of an N, kareywilliams.com. And on there, that's where you'll see that free gift. You can sign up for that for lack and prosperity conscious clearing.
So tell us, so someone signs up for your email list, they get the free gift. It's a session over the phone, or is it a group?
It's a video session, and it's a video session that they can use anytime that they want. Similar to that little one that we did, only it's much longer.
Okay, wonderful. And it specifically eliminates lack consciousness.
Yes.
Is that what I heard?
Yes, it's because, I mean, think about where we are now in our history on this planet. We've had so much DNA lack passed down to us of, not having enough, of not being enough, not having enough. So money can be part of that, but lack is bigger than just money. It's bigger, more foundational than that.
And actually, looking at your gift earlier when I was preparing for this interview, I was getting so excited about your gift, because eliminating lack means that it could be lack of our beliefs in health, money, fears. It's everything. So
lack of living your dream, yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. I really hope that people do that and really
Me too.
benefit from that
And use it as many times as you want,
every
do
day.
it, till you break that energy habit if you need to. Once might be enough, but if you need it more, great, whatever works.
Well, Karey, I want to thank you for living your dream. Thank you so much for following your heart. I know that you've been on a journey and it's continuing, and you are helping people. We are on the same team, you and I.
I adore you, Emily. From the moment I met you, I was just like, yes, there's a kindred spirit.
I
You just light it up. And I love your dream series too. I love the music that you play. I love that I'm on your dream banner. My dream is I'm still working on that next dream of being a author, being a published author. I'm working on that. So
Thank you. I want to do everything in my power to support you because I really believe in you too and what you're doing for the world. I'm
thank
getting
you.
so emotional. Very much that connection, the energy is very real for me. Thank you so much. And thank you
Yeah.
for signing up to Karey Williams, Karey Williams.com and really benefiting from what she has to offer to the world.
Thank you, Emily.
So I want to tell the audience that everything that I do is within a gift economy model. That means that I am doing everything for free. I took a stand. I quit my day job because I believe I wanted to do an experiment to see what would happen if I actually eliminated money as a barrier in actually living my dream, which is to do this, to give you all the tools you possibly can to live your dream, because that's the world I want to live in. So what that means is that I am doing everything free with that absolute pure divine trust that I will always be taken care of, which means that if you know that you are the hands and the hearts of the universe and you get to give to me, then I get to gratefully receive that. So my link is also below and you're welcome to give to me as well. And I thank you for that. Karey, thank you so much for this beautiful half hour and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you, Emily.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.